I was excited. I mean, it was obviously we told the team if we could win the tournament, we felt like we had a legitimate chance to host, and they executed it. So we obviously felt like we deserved to, but we know how this works, and you never know. So when the word came out, and we were obviously the last because we were the T after Stillwater. So yeah, it was exciting.
Did you almost at that point start scouting Grand Canyon like as a given that they'd be coming down here?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we knew that's and it makes sense. You know, it's good. Their fans can get down here, no problem. And it's just to me, yeah, it is a no-brainer at that point. Yeah.
Does it help that it's a familiar field? I mean, you played Dallas Baptist earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
You played West Virginia last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different than they were when we played them last, even Grand Canyon. So we'll rescout everybody. Obviously, they're all great teams. Dallas Baptist had a great year. We saw them and saw their best pitcher, and they were dynamite. So, and we've seen a really good Grand Canyon team, and of course West Virginia, finished strong in their conference. So. Yeah, it's just like our conference tournament, just like the end of the year. We take one day at a time and play our best baseball. That's all we can do.
Now that you've had a chance to step back from the weekend, just your overview on what you saw from your club over that Pac-12 run and how they got it done.
Well, like I told them before the selection show, I'm just really proud of them. I mean, at some point, whether you're a head coach of a college team, high school team, a manager in the major leagues, you step back and you just let these guys go. I mean, they just played good baseball, and obviously, to win the tournament against USC, things didn't start the way we wanted them to. I mean, we were no hit for 6 innings and didn't play great defense, and these guys just find a way. So whatever the situation, I trust them, and our pitching's been great all year, and we'll lean on that, and we'll scrap the score runs and see how it goes.
Does the karma of how you won the regular season in walk-off fashion and then the excitement in Scottsdale, does that carry over?
I just think guys feel like they're never out of a game. That's the best feeling for a team is if things aren't going well or you're down in the 8th or down in the 9th, you can score some runs and come back and win a game. And then your pitching will be able to hold it and hold that line. If you're down early, that's another good feeling for them. They know that, hey, if it's Walty or Candiotti or Kent, they're going to be able to hold it close enough where we can get them.
Was that just an issue with the wind out there at Scottsdale?
Yeah, it was a wind, sky. Maybe we had him positioned a little bit too shallow. So it was just a big combination.
So that was the message when you pulled him aside prior to the show, was expressing the coach's pride?
Yeah, just thanks, for what they've done, and just really proud of how they've done it and where we came from the preseason, and this is for them to enjoy, and it's a special day. Obviously, there's a lot of teams that didn't get a chance to move on and that had really good resumes. And so, you just had to feel blessed to be in it.
The fact that GCU beat you guys 2 out of 3 and one of them was a blowout.
Yeah.
Play into things a little bit?
They're a good team, and we've always said that's why we play them 3 times a year. Stanky started it, and Greg Wallace has continued on as the head coach, and they're a very tough team, and we know them well. They know us well, so it's going to be a good battle.
Have the discussions already begun about looking at your rotation?
Yeah, we have not begun them, no. But we will talk about who will pitch and when and matchups and all those different things. So we'll look at that.
What have you looked at in terms of Jackson, these last 4, and maybe where some of the inconsistencies are and what he's going on?
Yeah, I think some of his confidence. We watched him pretty carefully in the conference tournament against Cal, and just there wasn't the conviction that he's had most of the year. And I think Kevin and John will look at some video, and Kevin will get him to get back to where he was. And his arm's good. Obviously, the velocity was fine. Just has to execute pitches better.
Do you have 30 on the roster for?
No, I think 27. 27.
Okay, so you have to make decisions when it comes to those availabilities of potentially injured guys.
Yeah.
When do you have to have it set by?
Yeah, I believe by Thursday.
Do you think Corona will be able to?
Corona will be on it. Corona will be on whether he can go play the field and hit. He's just too much of a difference maker on the bases. I think he's going to be able to play.
What did you like about just some of the outfield plays you did make? I mean, Blackfoot made a great play in the one game to save a few runs. Brandon's catches.
Yeah. Well, I just thought that whether it's infield or outfield, the effort that the guys played with was great. I felt like, yeah, that one game we weren't playing very well. Obviously, Cal beat us, but Brandon Rogers made two of the best plays I've seen all year, and that just shows me they're not quitting in tough situations and they're battling. So yeah, I've been happy with the defense all year, whether it's outfield or infield or catching. So
Chip, did you play in a host situation when you were in Arizona?
we never hosted. No, we went to Fresno State, Austin, Texas, and ASU.
So what kind of advantage is it to have this here other than the crowd? And just what kind of advantages that give you?
Well, we're just used to it. We can sleep in our own beds. We get to, use our weight room. We get to do things that we're used to doing at home. I think, obviously, hopefully, the weather will help a little bit too.
GCU has played here. West Virginia played here
Yep.
last year. I don't think Dallas Baptist had.
Right.
The dimensions, the way you have to play in the outfield, balls dropping in front of it. How much of an advantage is that? Just knowing how the park plays.
Well, I think, like you said, GCU is very used to our ballpark. They've played here 3 times in the last year. All these guys have been here for a while, so that's probably not going to be much of an advantage with DBU. And like you said, West Virginia's been here, so I don't think it'll be as much of an advantage as it could be with 3 other teams that had never been here.
You might not face them, but you might West Virginia with J.J. Weatherford,
Right.
who kind of had his coming out party here
Yeah.
last year, burst on the national scene. What kind of player is he?
No, he's great. I mean, we had Brazana here, and Weatherholt will be in that mix for the top pick or the top 10 picks. So it's always great to have great ball players come into your place and your fans get to see them. And I think it's exciting and it's a challenge for our pitchers.
Do you guys feel like you're a different team than the team that faced Dallas Baptist earlier this year?
Oh yeah, for sure.
In what ways?
For sure, we just grown a lot. We've figured out our lineup a little more. We've had a lot more guys contribute, and we've got our bullpen sort of set. So they're a very good team. Obviously, winning their league, and we know their coaches really well. So it's fun to have them here in Tucson, and hopefully we get to play them.
You were hopeful of getting a top 16 seed after winning the tournament, combined with the regular season. It made sense, but some of the metrics did not
Right.
suggest that would happen. Were you at all surprised that the committee decided to give it to you guys?
I'm a little bit surprised, but I think it makes sense. And sometimes, that like you said, the metrics maybe didn't make sense. But when you look at it, conference champion, conference tournament champion of a power conference, I think, they just made sense of that. So I think I'm not as surprised maybe as most people were because of what we've done and what, our body work.
Considering the projections for this team coming into it,
Right.
What you've accomplished to this point, is this already considered a successful season, or does it need more results from this point?
No, we need to keep winning. We talked about it when we started the conference tournament. We're in the playoffs. We're here to win. When it's all said and done and the season's over, we'll look back at certain things. But as we stand right now, we need to keep winning.
Yeah, beginning of the season schedule was pretty hellacious.
Yeah.
You ended up with the number 1 ranked non-conference strength of schedule in the country.
Right.
What benefits did that
Well,
have?
it was huge. I mean, we went out to USD and played a really good team and sort of, got punched in the face and understood, hey, we need to get better. And then went out to Frisco and it was the same deal. And even Northeastern to start the year was a good team, and we won 2 out of 3. That's just the way it is. I will always try to schedule the best preseason to get these guys ready, and that's part of the college experience. We're trying to give these guys the best experience. We're not going to just not play. We're not just going to go out and play teams that we know we can beat. We want to challenge ourselves, and because our goal is to be the best team we can in the conference.
Obviously, winning both the Pac-12 regular season and tournament, but do you think that scheduling was the ultimate maybe deciding factor in you guys getting this reason?
It probably was, yes.
Have you ever been on a team that has had this many walk-offs?
I think most teams that get to the point of get into a playoff situation, whether it was the minor leagues managing or being on with the Washington Nationals in the World Series in 2019, you have a bunch of those type of things because that's when you start to go, wait a minute, things might be special with this group. And like I said earlier, that they just have confidence that whether they're down 2, 3, 4, 5 runs in the 9th inning, they can come back. Now, does it always happen? No, but it's always nice to see on the bench there's never any panic.
With
first game against GCU, I mean, obviously they came in here and they won a pretty good game about a month ago. What makes them such a tough team to beat? What do you anticipate out of them?
Well, they're veteran. They're super veteran. They've been through it. Nothing sort of phases them. This will be different. We'll face their supposed Friday night starter. We'll have our best pitcher going against them. So it will be a little bit different. But they put good bats together. They put the ball in play with 2 strikes. And as we know, with our weather and our field, and there's a lot of hits to be had in this field. So when you put the ball in play, you have a chance.
Have you gotten to know Nathan Bannister much as an alum of this program?
Oh, yeah. We see each other on the recruiting trail, and he's a great Wildcat, and he's done a great job with our pitching staff.
Now that the bracket's out, any glaring surprises that you feel card?
Yeah, I just disappointed that Cal Berkeley didn't make it. I thought that they deserved it. They had a great finish to the year. They, obviously were 1 game away from playing us again in the finals, and even USC. I thought USC was as hot as anybody at the end, and I still say this, that ASU is probably a team that everybody's happy is not in it because they were dangerous coming down the stretch. And so those 3 teams, from a great conference like us, I think they all deserve to be in there.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.